Are those plant-based options available at restaurants healthy? Well, a new study suggests that they probably are not. So, in a recent study published in the journal called Nutrients, researchers actually examined the menus of restaurants around the world to see whether their plant based offerings at both omnivore restaurants, which would be those that serve both plant based and meat products, and vegan or vegetarian eateries were healthful in terms of avoiding things like saturated fat, refined grains, and deep fried foods. Well, surprise, not surprise, they actually found that the majority of the plant based meals that were available in store, like in restaurants, were not considered healthy. And to give you an idea of just how big this study was, the research team, their sample of restaurants was 561 different restaurants in 196 cities across 37 countries and 6 continents.
Wow.
Most of these were located in the US, which had a total of 373 locations, followed by Australia and several European countries. So they literally were around the world here. And so it was very interesting because the researchers found that many options labeled as vegan contained unhealthy ingredients, which dedicated vegetarian restaurants offering a greater proportion of healthy options versus omni restaurants. So that kind of makes sense. If you're already a vegan or vegetarian restaurant, you may have a couple more healthy options, but overall, most of these vegan options were not all that healthy. And it's because they contained refined grains, which are linked to increased mortality, chronic disease. And what was interesting is the US based restaurants were slightly more likely to offer healthy options compared to other countries. But then again, we had the most restaurants in the sample. One thing that I did think was really kind of funny, if you will, it said that restaurants tend to respond to the preferences of their target consumers to be financially viable. So if you want your store to be successful, you got to sell what people want. And often the things that make food taste good are what make it unhealthy. There was a documentary years ago that stated one of the healthiest fast food options that you could get was a grilled chicken sandwich. But the least ordered food at restaurants was a grilled chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So now what really, I mean, because I love to piss off vegans, apparently. I'm kidding. I don't really want to piss you off. But what I found most interesting about this is that the researchers stated that they suggest that regulatory bodies across the world, including the FDA, should expand their nutritional disclosure requirements beyond just large franchise restaurants. Because right now, you are only required to have, like, basically like a nutrient label available for a consumer to look at if you are a large franchise with more than like 20 locations.
Yeah.
And so they're suggesting that all restaurants should have to have that information readily available, easily displayed, and most of those big restaurants, they have it on their website.
Right.
And I completely agree with that. Just
Yeah.
100%. Every restaurant should be required to show that information.
Yeah. There should be more transparency behind, what the expectations are. Like, I was kind of thinking about it when you were talking about how, like, the vegan options that are included in restaurants are typically unhealthy. And I kind of thought about, like, in general, the eating out experience is it's kind of an indulgence. It's a treat for myself. So, like, I don't know. I I'm gonna get a crappy version of something I make at home. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm making a burger at home, I'm gonna get a big fat cheeseburger when I go out with the French fries and the ranch or the sour cream to dip it in. Yes, I know it's weird. Leave me alone. Because like
But
it's a
you're
little
also going
extra.
to be going for like indulgence. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're going to be more likely to get that truffle butter or stuff that
Mhm.
you wouldn't necessarily have at home,
Yeah.
you know? But here's my issue with that nutritional disclosure to begin with.
Yeah.
So, when you go look up a restaurant's menu on their website and it lists, calories, saturated fat, all the things, it will just say one serving. Okay.
Right.
Unless it's meat, it won't actually tell you what the average serving amount is. So if
Right.
you were to order a steak and it comes with Brussels sprouts and rice, it's not going to actually tell you how much rice is on that plate.
Sure.
Like they may know that their serving size is 1 cup, but the average consumer, it is almost impossible to find out exactly how much rice is going to be on your plate. It's
Yeah,
going to be
that's true.
almost impossible to find out exactly how much Brussels sprouts are on that plate. Now,
Yeah.
they will say, like, you're getting an 8-ounce steak, or you're getting, half a pound of shrimp. They'll use weights when it comes to like meat, but even then you have to be careful because a lot of times they are giving you the pre-cooked weight. This was an 8-ounce steak before it was cooked, so now it could be a 5-ounce steak.
Yeah.
So that's kind of iffy as well. So I feel like they should even push this a step further and require the FDA should require restaurants to list out exactly how big a serving is, because just like on a nutrition label, it can't say, on the back that this is 3 servings, but not tell you how much each serving is, then
True.
list all of the nutritional information. But you want to be scared out of your mind? Go look at, a fancy restaurant, even a casual restaurant, even a fast food restaurant. Go look up the calorie count on some of this. I did it recently for a restaurant that we went to. I could not find a single dinner that was less than 1,200 calories.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like just trying to eat a decent meal. We went out to it was like a seafood place. And it took like I think I ended up finding an entree that was like 750 and it was seafood. I was like seafood is a little bit easier than like say a steak restaurant or you know what I mean?
Not
But
really, because a
even
lot
then.
of seafood is dunked in a butter sauce or a
Yeah.
cream sauce, or you know what I mean? And that all adds
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. This
And
was
then
just
if
blackened,
I'm
so
going to a restaurant, do I really care how many calories? Because I'm going for the treat and the indulgence. But
I
even
tried a middle of the road, so
but even still, one of the big things is that restaurant portions, if you want to call them that, are typically 2 to 3 times larger than what someone would eat at home.
sure.
Because I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to a restaurant and I literally feel awful when I leave. Like I am in a food coma. I, immediately start regretting what pants I wore. Like I should have put on I should have been prepping for Thanksgiving. I should have wore stretchy pants. And you know
No
what?
warning.
I hate that feeling of like, oh, it was so good. I can't stop eating, but now I'm like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not healthy in any way,
No.
shape, or form to
God no.
keep eating and eating. But when it's sitting in front of you, you're having conversations with people, you can't help it. Even though you're full, you kind of push your plate aside, you just keep looking at it. And so you're like, oh, I'll just have one more bite. Oh, I'll just have one more bite. And then you're like, well, there's not much left. I should just finish this because I don't want to take a box home. And before you
Right.
know it, you've just eaten 3 dinners.
I know. I know. And I have to remind myself that it's okay to leave food on a plate. Like there was this push when we were kids to like, oh, you got to clear your plate. But like, and I've worked to really undo that. But sometimes it still creeps in, man. and there's like 2 bites left, and you're like, ah.
Well, and diet culture has gone out of control because you can't even go to a restaurant and immediately ask for like a doggy bag or like a little container because
Yeah,
God forbid you ask for that right at the beginning. Everybody's looking at you like you are now on a diet. And it's like, I'm
yeah,
not on a diet. I just don't want to kill myself because I feel like hell because I just ate 3 dinners worth of food.
yeah. Can I just take the salad and go? Cause and I'll eat the cheese fries.
Oh, and if you offer free bread, I'm calling out, Charlie's, um, dang
Longhorn,
Olive Garden, anybody that has
Outback.
bread,
Yep.
oh, just kill me now because I will eat the entire thing. I am obsessed with bread and butter. Oh my God.
Oh, especially if it's good butter. Like
Yes.
Texas Roadhouse has like a cinnamon butter.
Yes.
So
And I
mean.
cannot leave that bread on the table. So I'm
Nope.
going to get a to go box and I'm going to put 7 grains of rice in there just so I can take all the bread from the table. Okay. Because
Order
they're
a
just
little
going to throw
extra.
it away.
Well, and if you've got like 2 rolls, like if you go to Jim and Nick's and you have 2 rolls, but like you could order another set of rolls before you finished eating. You know you're not eating them, they go in the box. Like everybody's got their thing. The restaurant with the super garlic rolls, you know the one.
Oh, I know
That
the one.
one.
It's this Italian place. Oh my gosh. I would love to just go there and order like 7 things of garlic bread to go.
You leave smelling like garlic.
Oh
There is
God.
no options.
Like
You walk in not smelling like garlic, you
what?
leave smelling like garlic.
For at least the near vicinity, like probably 36 hours, you are vampire proof. No vampire is getting near you, at
You're
least by a
almost people
mile.
proof. You are
Well, yeah.
almost people proof.
Like like I don't know how they are so busy like on a Valentine's night because
You both smell like garlic.
well, that's
Nobody
true. You
knows.
cannot like if you're at the same restaurant, it permeates your pores. But
Yeah.
anyway, back on topic here.
Sorry.
Yes, we went down the rabbit hole and I apologize. But let me know down below. First, are you one that orders plant-based food options at restaurants, whether it's a vegan restaurant or if it's an omni restaurant? And are you surprised that a lot of these vegan options are considered unhealthy? And I should mention, most omni restaurants, those that serve both, one of the main things you always see as a vegan option is a veggie burger. And a lot of the times, those veggie burgers are not that great. So let us know what your thoughts are down below, and we'll see you next time.